Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chris's Corner. This is going to be dealing with Smackdown, April 30th, taped in Hershey, Pennsylvania. All right, let's get right into it because there's a lot to cover here on this Smackdown. It's a pretty big episode, the one right after the draft. So it's going to be interesting to see where everyone is fitting into the whole Smackdown roster. We lost a lot of main eventers. We're going to have to replace them somewhere. So let's see what mid-carders are, going to get bumped up here tonight. All right, the show uh, starts off with Teddy Long coming out saying he's going to introduce SmackDown's newest star. Kofi Kingston comes out, comes to the ring, gets ready for his first match. Then out comes Jericho, to my surprise. Isn't Jericho on Raw? He just got drafted on Monday. But then he says he's coming out to say goodbye to the hypocrites and whatnot, say goodbye to the fans. Kind of made me laugh. He kind of just did his usual Jericho thing. Then we get the Kofi and Jericho match coming up next. Really good match, actually. Well, not really good, but pretty decent match. Good psychology in the match. I'd give it maybe a 2 out of 5, somewhere around there, 2.5, something like that. Jericho was on offense for pretty much the entire match. He caught Kofi in the walls of Jericho. Kofi got out of that. Even hit him with a code breaker, but Kofi fell to the outside. Once Jericho got him back into the ring, Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere for the win. It makes a lot of sense to put Kofi over Jericho, being as that Kofi needs to establish himself on SmackDown. Jericho, of course, has no problem doing the deed and putting Kofi Kingston over. Jericho is probably one of the best at putting people over and making them look like a star. After that, we have a Swagger promo, sort of a backstage style promo. He says George W. Bush invited him to the White House. Interesting to know, and that's all he says. I don't really get that too much, but backstage, when we come back from commercial, backstage we have Big Show and Jericho confrontation. Big Show, gives Jericho the old punch, knocks him out. Whatever. Back in the ring, we have Chavo Guerrero making his SmackDown debut. He was drafted to SmackDown in the supplemental draft. He comes out, then out comes Kane to sort of rain on Chavo's parade. I thought it was going to lead to a match here, but Kane just came in, chokeslammed Chavo, and said, "Welcome to SmackDown." That's about it. Kane and Chavo feud, slightly more interesting than Hornswoggle Chavo feud, but not too much. So not really excited for that. We get a Shad Gaspard promo. He's in a suit and has dark sunglasses on. Don't really quite understand that too much. I thought he was a thug. I guess now he's a sophisticated thug. Up next, we have John Morrison versus Cody Rhodes. It's going to be Morrison's last match on SmackDown before he moves to Raw. They're sort of doing like a goodbye for everyone here on SmackDown tonight. I'm really going to miss Morrison's matches on SmackDown. He consistently had some of the better matches, some of the longer matches, a really good worker, and you're not going to see that on Raw, guarantee you. This is also Rhodes' first match back since WrestleMania, where Orton punted him in the head. Quick side note here about this match. Not really important, but Rhodes doesn't use knee pads, and his legs are really, really lanky. Just saying, looks kind of weird. Get some knee pads, brother. Pretty much, Rhodes actually controls most of this match. Kind of surprising, I guess, since he's the heel. Heels are always on the offense. So Rhodes controls most of the match. Even busts out a top rope moonsault, which was pretty impressive. Didn't think Rhodes has ever done that before. He does some pretty nice moves. He even hits Morrison with an Alabama Slam, which is probably my favorite wrestling move. I don't know why I love that move so much. I just do. It's got so much impact. I love it. Morrison starts his comeback, but then Rhodes, to his credit, picks up the win with the crossroads for the win. Kind of surprising that Rhodes would go over Morrison, but I guess SmackDown's really trying to build up their mid-carders, so Morrison puts over Rhodes there. We get another Swagger promo saying that he led Oklahoma to 3 national championships. I think they're doing kind of a Mr. Perfect style build with him, bragging about all of his accomplishments and pissing people off because he's so perfect. I like it, actually. It's kind of cool. I kind of make fun of it a little bit, but Mr. Perfect did good with it, and I think Swagger could do pretty decent with it too. Then when we get back from commercial break, we have Edge coming out, and then he wants to say goodbye to the fans, and to my surprise, out comes Christian. I totally marked out right here, Edge and Christian in the same ring. It was awesome. They had kind of a little nice moment there where where Edge wishes him luck on SmackDown. Then Christian ruins it and says, well, not ruins it, but Christian ruins the happiness of this moment and calls Edge a liar, says that, he's trying to fool the fans and use the fans to his advantage. And in kind of a weird little twist there, Edge says, you know what, you're right, I have been using these fans, I don't care about them, blah, blah, blah. So Edge heel again, and Edge saying that, the fact he can't wait to get out of SmackDown because the fans make him sick and all. So kind of really, it happened really suddenly and unexpected. So kind of cool, kind of not cool. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I didn't expect Edge to turn heel so soon, but I do like him as a heel better than a face anyway. Christian says he's been asked a lot about Edge and Christian reuniting. He no longer wants to see that. He now wants to see Edge versus Christian. Edge tells him no, and then they brawl around the ring pretty much. For like a minute or so. That was awesome, I'd have to say. I can't wait. They're definitely going to have a match soon, and that's going to be awesome. Christian gets the crowd to chant na 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 goodbye, that whole thing. Then we get backstage. Edge gets the punch from Big Show for no reason. Show really has an anger problem tonight. He needs to control that. He's just knocking people out left and right. Next up, we have Kelly Kelly and Beth Phoenix versus Michelle McCool and Layla. This is Kelly Kelly's first match on SmackDown and Beth Phoenix's first match as women's champion. Pretty, simple Divas match here. Nothing too special. Kelly Kelly played damsel in distress. Got the hot tag to Beth Phoenix, who cleaned house. Then tagged back in Kelly, who pins Layla. We get another Swagger promo here. He says that he turned down full ride scholarships left and right to top-notch universities. Then, so that was, good to know. Next we have Masters doing a promo where he does his little peck titty dance. Now that's good TV, people. You can't get better than a Masters peck titty dance. I don't really see what Masters is going to do on SmackDown, being that he really doesn't wrestle. Next we get Dolph Ziggler coming out to the ring to basically just say that he killed Hornswoggle. Says that he went to Leprechaun Heaven. Don't really understand this. No match for Ziggler. Just comes out, says Hornswoggle's in Leprechaun Heaven. Proudest moment of his career. Heads to the back. Doesn't really make much sense. Then we have Matt Hardy in an interview. A lot of interviews tonight. McIntyre interrupts. He gives him the future shock. Good. Get Matt Hardy off my TV. He's not his brother, and I don't want to see him. JTG did a very incoherent backstage promo where I didn't really understand one word that he said. Something about wanting gold or something. I don't know. They did a lot of backstage promos. I like it. They're kind of kicking it old school with the Raw is War type style promos in the back. Then we have CM Punk to come out and gloat about his win over Rey Mysterio at Extreme Rules. Then MVP interrupts. What the hell, MVP? This doesn't make much sense. He comes out to attack Straight Edge Society by himself, gets the beatdown due to the numbers advantage. Then out comes Mysterio for the save. Sets up Punk and Gallows versus Rey and MVP. Short match, not that great. Rey takes a beating. MVP gets a hot tag. Gallows takes a 619. Then a drive-by from MVP. And MVP gets the pin over Gallows. The Masked Man then comes out after the match. Takes out Mysterio. Then heads out through the crowd. Word is that Masked Man is Joey Mercury, in case any of you guys were wondering. Swagger now has another promo, tells us that he has a 4.0 GPA. Thanks, Swagger. Good to know. Then Swagger then comes out to the ring. He's getting a hell of a lot of heat from the fans. They're really starting to, hate this whole cocky Jack Swagger thing. Swagger goes on to list all of his accomplishments in his entire life, starting at age 5 or something like that. He even says that he won the NFL punt and pass competition at age 12. He says it's true. Look it up. I haven't took the time to look it up, but if any of you guys want to do that, let me know if it's true. That's kind of interesting. Theodore Long comes out to tell Swagger he's had enough of his talking, and he wants to introduce #1 contender, The Big Show. I guess that, so not too surprising. I guess it's Swagger versus Show at Over the Limit. Anyone know what that concept of that pay-per-view is? Because I sure don't. WWE hasn't told us yet. Yippee, that should be a great match. Not. Show then comes into the ring and tells Swagger that of all of his accomplishments, he needs one more, and that's to retire early. Show gets his 4th knockout punch of the night on Swagger. Show's really an angry guy tonight. Pretty good show overall. That ends the show there. Pretty good show overall. I'd give it a 7.5, maybe closer to an 8. Pretty decent, some pretty good wrestling matches, but a lot of promos. Really promo-heavy show from SmackDown, trying to, get some of its mid-carders up there. All right, running out of time. That does it for Chris's Corner. As always, check this YouTube channel. Subscribe to the videos for all types of updates and whatnot. See you guys next time.